Hello everyone, welcome to And Sleep, a Whole You series. My name is Gina Kim. For this multi-part series, we will discuss 6 parts of life that can impact our sleep health. I have the pleasure of hosting world-renowned sleep specialist and clinical psychologist known as the Sleep Doctor, Dr. Michael Breus. Today, we're talking about exercise and sleep. Welcome, Dr. Breus.
Thanks.
Gyms were closed.
Yep.
Everybody wanted comfort food during the pandemic.
Isn't that true?
That has definitely affected our exercise habits. But can you talk about how rest leads to better exercise and vice versa?
Of course. So, one of the things that we're seeing, Gina, is what people are calling the quarantine 15.
Oh no,
I
like
know.
the freshman 15.
Exactly. So what's happening is since people have become quarantined, unfortunately, they've been much more sedentary. And that happens, lots of people gain a lot of weight. What's good, though, is that we've seen a lot of people who've been sedentary say, gosh, I can't just sit on the couch anymore. I've got to get up and I've got to get motivated. I want to do something for myself and I want to get involved in exercise, things like that. We're very excited for that and those people to do that. Here's the thing that many people don't know. Getting good sleep at night not only helps your exercise during the day, but helps your motivation for exercise during the day. So when I talk with people all the time, I say, look, here's the thing you got to remember. Good sleep leads to good health. So when we look at it, we want to say, all right, what are some exercises that I can do during the day that could maybe help me with my sleep at night? Turns out large muscle exercises are some of the best. So squats, lunges, things that use big groups of muscles like your thighs or your chest or your back, things of that nature can be very helpful. However, there is a word of caution, right? Is you don't want to be exercising too close to bedtime.
Why?
I'll tell you why. So remember, when you're falling asleep, your core body temperature begins to drop. Well, when you exercise, your core body temperature begins to rise. Those two things don't work too well together. So what we ask people to do is, look, if you're going to do these great exercises, these large muscle exercises, do us a favor. Exercise, please, but don't exercise within 3 hours of bedtime. This allows your body to calm down and relax a little bit more and be able to get into that low temperature mode to get some good rest.
That's super helpful to know. And everybody wants to exercise more. Everybody wants to sleep more. But it seems like we're also challenged in being able to do it. Is there a method, a way to make it easier?
There's no question that there is a way to make it easier. So one of the big problems is motivation. And motivation has a lot to do with when you do an exercise during the day. Many people don't know that. People will wake up super early and say, oh, I'm going to try to get up, at 5 a.m. and work out and all these different things. It turns out that we all have something inside of us, a genetic thing called your chronotype. A chronotype is actually your genetics, your body's ability to wake up either early, like an early bird, or late, like a night owl. It turns out this is genetic and something that's ingrained in our genes. What's great about learning what your chronotype is, it will tell you when the perfect time is to exercise. First, let's break down the chronotypes and talk about what the different ones are. So we used to think of chronotypes as early birds and night owls, but we've now discovered that there are actually 4 chronotypes, and we've given them animal names. So the early bird now turns into a lion. Kind of cool to be a lion, right? And it turns out that lions actually have their first kill at dawn. So they actually are early birds, believe it or not. Next come the bears. Bears are individuals who don't get up early like our early birds. They get up on the normal sleep cycle like most normal people do. They run the work schedule 9 to 5. It works out very well for them. They're what we call solar sleepers, right? They like to sleep when the sun is down. The third category are night owls, or what we call wolves. That's me. I happen to be a night owl.
Me too.
There you go. And so what's my tendency is I want to stay up later and I want to sleep later. Now, to be fair, that doesn't always work great with some of my timing schedules and things like that, but it also gives me a hint as to when I can best exercise. The final category is what we call a dolphin. So a dolphin is somebody who unfortunately has kind of an erratic sleep schedule, does suffer from some anxiety, and exercise is a key component to making them sleep better. Now that I've explained sort of the 4 different types of people that we have out there, right, the sleep types, what we want to do now is discover, are there better times for exercise based on your type? Turns out that there are. So for folks who are a lion, remember my early birds, they actually exercise very well early in the morning. Not a big surprise there, right? Bears, kind of my middle people, they, believe it or not, will perform best on exercise in the afternoons, but here's a little secret. If bears don't exercise before noon, they ain't gonna do it. Okay, it just isn't going to happen. Wolves, like me, we try to exercise at night, but I've got to be honest with you, we have to be careful as a wolf because if you exercise too close to bedtime, you increase that core body temperature, and that can be a problem as well. Dolphins actually do best exercising early in the morning. It helps calm them down throughout their day and allow them to really be able to focus and not have that jittery energy that people have all day. So, when you start to think about all of these chronotypes and you think about when should I exercise, it actually falls into line quite nicely, but there's a problem. And the problem is if you have an underlying sleep disorder, then all of this scheduling unfortunately doesn't work very well because the quality of your sleep is so diminished. So, one of the things I talk about with my patients all the time is how can you go forward and get treatment for undiagnosed sleep disorders, specifically sleep apnea. So there are a lot of different treatments out there for sleep apnea, CPAP mask, machine, things of that nature. One of the things that I'm recommending, especially for my really active patients who don't like to be confined by a CPAP machine, is an oral appliance, using oral appliance therapy. So oral appliance therapy is actually something that's been around for a little while, and it works extremely well, almost identical to a CPAP depending upon you as a patient. So there are several different ways that people can go about learning more about oral appliance therapy, but one of my favorite things that I tell people all the time is, look, talk with your doctor. If your doctor doesn't know exactly what you think they need to know about sleep, see if you can seek out a sleep medicine dentist. One of my favorite places is to look at wholeu.com. They have an entire network of dentists, and actually you can find one very, very quickly.
You just totally opened my eyes. Where have you been my whole life? All this time, I now realize I was a wolf trying to be a lion.
Exactly.
This is incredible. Thank you so much.
No, it's my pleasure. So many people are having that as an issue. So once you figure out your chronotype and you know when to exercise, everything gets a lot easier.
Amazing. Thank you. Well, that completes this episode of And Sleep, a Whole You series with Dr. Michael Breus. We encourage you to explore the rest of the episodes and visit www.wholeu.com to learn more about the latest in sleep apnea treatment.